Hola guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Karimash, and if you're new here, be sure to subscribe, be sure to watch all the previous videos and like, share my guys, share guys. We're on our road to 1,000 subscribers. So on today's episode, my people, I'm going to be sharing with you the story of how I survived in my first year in Cuba, or as most of us would like to call it here, it's our pre-med year in Cuba. So without further ado, as usual, let's get started.
Be good to me. I'll be good. Promise me you'll be good.
So guys, as soon as we were done with quarantine, we were taken to a different building which had various rooms. That building had been specifically prepared for the pre-meds, or rather the new ones, the newbies like myself and my friends who are going to start their life in Cuba. So I remember walking inside the building and like on our floor, and we were on fourth floor, we were taken to fourth floor. And it was it just felt new and clean and a lot of air. Like it just felt like it just felt, I remember the feeling was just awesome. I was like, wow.
My God! Wow!
Okay. And so we were assigned the fourth room of the fourth floor. So it was basically fourth floor, the fourth room. We used to call it Cuatro Cuarto. Yes. So guys, I remember going in there, and the rooms are like, it had like 8 beds. Yeah, 4 double deckers. And as soon as we got in, there was a girl from Venezuela who I think had left a day before from quarantine, and also another one from Congo who had also left, I think, a day or 2 days before from quarantine. So there were 6 beds left. So I was like, you know what? Based in on my high school days and my high school trauma, let me take you guys back a bit, and why I'm saying that. In our high school, the form ones are always sleeping on the lower decker. They're always sleeping on the lower bed. And then the form fours always sleep on the upper bed. It's not like an always thing, but majorly, most of the time, the young ones with their new mattresses, they sleep at the bottom, and the old ones with their old mattresses, they sleep up. So you'd find that most of the form fours, whenever they're coming, they'd have group discussions, and then they'd come to your rooms or like where you're staying, and because they can't have the group discussions up on their beds, they always sit like on your bed. You get what I'm saying? So you find that your mattress, basically by the first term, on one side your mattress is so thin, so thin, because all the form fours would come there, like 8 or 10 people in a group discussion, and where will they stay? They will sit on your mattresses. So based on that trauma, and that's why I'm saying, based on that experience, I was like, nope, I am not going to be sleeping on the bottom bed. I am going to be sleeping on the upper bed, because I'm not about to have any form fours sitting on my bed and making my mattress thin. That's how I thought back then. And so I was like, I moved to an upper decker also, and the rest of the people, they also, like, the room, in a few minutes we were all full in the room, and so some of the other people went to other rooms, and that's how it was. So in our room, I basically ended up being, of course, the only Kenyan. There was a Congolese, a Venezuelan, a Sri Lankan, and then we had 3 Grenadians, and one from, what was the name, Guatemala. I think she was not from Guatemala, Nicaragua. Yes, she was from Nicaragua. So, and so we were the 8 of us, and it was really hard at first adjusting, because all of us were from different cultures. In that, even if we are Africans, like the Kenyan and the Congolese, we still have different cultures. And you can imagine, again, South Americans, and then we have the Caribbean, and then an Asian. So it was just like a whole mashakura. It was a whole mixture of people and their cultures and languages, and it was but adjusting to each and every person wasn't hard, because, like I told you people, the I ended up with those girls from Grenada, from the Caribbean, and they were really, really kind. Also, the Congolese are amazing. The Venezuelan, amazing. The Sri Lankan, amazing. Like, everyone in that room, by the grace of God, I just ended up with amazing roommates and that is a great blessing that I don't take it for granted because, hey, guys, you know the way girls when we live together, the drama. Nope, I was not going to deal with that. And I thank God for that I ended up with the absolute best inside that room, the absolute best. Yeah, and I can say that confidently. So we started living together, and as usual, you'd share like the few things you had. If it's snacks, you'd share, but then again, remember, I didn't have any. And we just used to share a lot of things just here and there. We'd get to know each other's names. Whenever we are going outside to eat, we'd go together. By outside, I just mean going to the dining hall. We'd at least try and walk together. And basically that was like the first few days, and adjusting, because what else are you supposed to do? You don't know anyone. The only person you know is just the person you came with. Other than that, but the person you came with, like for myself, I came with a guy, so there was no way I was going to be staying with that guy 24/7. You also had to come back to your room. So that was it basically. And guys, there are so many stories that I have for you about that room and how amazing it was, because like I've said, oh my god, I got the best of the best of the best. But I'm going to be telling you guys that later. So I remember the following day, like after I had now settled in, and I think we got out of quarantine like on Thursday. So on Saturday, or was it on a Sunday? Yeah, one of our seniors. So I'm just going to put it here. By the time I was coming, we had how many seniors? We had seniors called Sam, two Sams. So some senior, some junior. Then we had Musa, and then we had Zippy. So by the time I was coming, we had 4 Kenyans already who were here, and they were our seniors. So, and I'm going to be mentioning them a lot because, like I said, they really helped. They really helped us. So when we got out of quarantine, Musa decided, like the day after, like I think if we left on Thursday or Friday, on Sunday, yeah, Musa was like, guys, I'm going to take you to the embassy. And so he contacted the deputy ambassador by then, and the first thing, we did not even go to the embassy. He knew we really wanted to connect our phones. We wanted to talk to our parents, like connect to the Wi-Fi or mobile data or something along that line. So Musa took myself and the guy. We were taken to something we call a Wi-Fi park. So guys, this is what happens in a Wi-Fi park. It's a park that has Wi-Fi, that has Wi-Fi connection. So what happens is you're supposed to buy like a card where after you scratch and you key in the numbers, you can be able to connect into the Wi-Fi. Yeah. So Musa went and did that and bought like a card for just an hour or something. Yeah, just an hour, because and it was very expensive. It used to be $1 for 1 hour card. Yeah, so, and you can't expect people to buying like 10 hour dollar cards for 10 hours, and yet you also have other things to do. So he just bought 1 hour card, $1, and then we connected. But the question is, how are we connecting? And that is when I came and I found out that there is something called, I was only accustomed to hotspot, or majorly just hotspot, and I think Wi-Fi sharing. I don't know if that's the name. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But then I found out you can also share your mobile data through Bluetooth tethering. Hey, my guys, hustling. I did not know that. So I remember Musa was like, no, turn on your Bluetooths, and you're going to connect to my phone through Bluetooth, and you're going to get mobile data. I was like, Musa, what do you mean when we just need to turn on our Bluetooth and we're going to connect? So apparently he taught us that, you can always do something called Bluetooth tethering. And guys, I think it's the simplest way of sharing data ever in comparison to mobile hotspot. But then again, I don't know a lot about technology. I just try here and there. So we connected, and let me tell you guys, have you ever Have you ever gone off the grid for like a week and then you come back and you've just traveled and then you come back and guys, messages were flowing in on my phone. Messages left, right, and center. I remember I was just like all these messages because your friends are wondering, did you arrive, what's going on with you? Your parents, yes, they knew you had arrived, but they just need to text and check up on you. Everyone that you love is just checking up on you. And guys, my phone was blasting with messages, and they're just like, who do I call first? Do I call my friends? Do I call my who? Ha! And you just have 1 hour, and let me tell you guys, 1 hour of Wi-Fi goes so fast when you have a lot of people to text and a lot of things to explain. A lot of things and a lot of people to text, guys. So I was just there. I remember I was just typing and I'm like, this is a lot. But then you want to stay there because you've not talked to the people, your loved ones, for quite a long time, and everyone is just wondering, like, where is this girl? Where has she disappeared to? And so after that hour, even though I was not done responding to my messages, but Musa had told us that at the embassy there is Wi-Fi. So he was like, don't worry guys, you're going to enjoy Wi-Fi at the embassy. And let me tell you, back then, if I had, like, I was so happy because hey, you're taking me again to a place that has Wi-Fi, and that's going to be free Wi-Fi, unlimited free Wi-Fi. Girl, I was lucky. So anyway, we went to the embassy, and that was the first time I boarded these long buses we call guaguas. Yeah, we went to the embassy, and the deputy ambassador received us like really nicely, and we just had a great time. And I remember he bought us food, guys. And let me tell you, that was the first time I had seen like good food in Cuba, because remember again, I had been in quarantine and the only food that we were eating was from the dining hall. And I was like, wow, so these people actually have good food. So I've just been suffering in the dining hall for no reason. Guys, the little things that we take for granted back in our countries. Oh my god. Because this little food that I'm telling you is just rice and beans that has been cooked together. It's called arroz con gris in Cuba. And then they had like chips, and they had chicken and like just some salad on the side. I clearly remember it. That's the impact it made on my head. So we had a great time with the deputy ambassador Musa, the guy we came with, and myself. And after that, now, you know, that was it. At least he knew us, and we interacted, and then we went back to school. So the following days, there was nothing much basically that we were doing. The only time was just hanging out with my roommates, hanging out with um, my countrymates. And let me tell you guys, by the way, the kindness, the level of kindness and that I received from each and every person. Like, our seniors will always work with us, and then they're like, when they meet their friends, oh, by the way, this is my Premed. Yeah, she just came the other day. And then these people will be like, oh, hi, how are you? How are you doing? And they'd ask so many things about you. And then the next time you meet them without your senior, they'll still say hi. They're like, hi, how are you, Karimash? How is the going? Are you okay? Let me go and buy you juice. Let me go and buy you food. Let me go and buy you what? I'm like, you mean you're going to buy me food? You mean you're kind to me without my senior being there? Because the number of times that I've seen, like maybe if I'm walking with my mom and then she introduces me to someone, like a friend of hers, and then the next time I see this friend of hers and I'm not with my mom, the person will just pass me like, it's like we don't know each other, and yet maybe we've made eye contact or maybe we're in the same room. So coming here, and I find that whenever I'm not hanging out with my seniors and these people that they had introduced me to still say hi to me, that was such a big deal. And the Africans, oh my gosh, shout out by the way to you guys. We had an African Union, and they made a whole party. They organized, the African Union organized a whole party for us. Hey guys, let me tell you, it was not like a party. It was just like, we are welcoming you guys. So we met all the juniors, or I'm going to call us pre-meds, all the pre-meds from the different African countries. we met in that party and we got to say our names, say the countries we come from, and the leaders of the African Union got to introduce themselves. They got to welcome us and just told us to just feel welcomed. And oh my goodness, it was amazing. And the most amazing part of it all was that later on we were playing games, and I remember I won the game, myself and a guy from Burundi, because a guy and a girl had to win. So I won for my country. Okay, for at that time, but yes, I won for my country. So I won in that game and the guy won, and then we were told to dance. Hey, and let me tell you guys, let me tell you, the dance floor and me, same WhatsApp group. So it was really fun, and that's how I got to know like my first friend, a Premed, also from Burundi. Hi, Alerdian. So it was just an amazing time. It was like the adjusting was really nice, because you find people who actually just want the best for you, people who just want to look out for you, you know, just people who are just, they're all about, we want you to feel comfortable here. You don't have to struggle. We've already done that. Like, we've already struggled. So as long as you're here and we know the way, we are not going to let you struggle. So that was it, guys. There are so many events that happened, and so I'm going to be telling you guys. They're not what is it called, they're not in order. Yes, they're just here and there, but just to summarize the first year that I had. I remember around September, yeah, September, mid September, one of our seniors had his birthday. And I think it's always in September 19th or September 9th. I'm not so good with the dates. So by then we had met this one of our seniors, also called Zippy. So Zippy was like, oh, my pre-meds, I've not gotten a chance to hang out with you guys because I'm so busy, I don't know what. And so Zippy took us out, like the three of us. We went to a nearby, I'll say a place, a center, yeah, called Barakoa, and she bought us food, and we just had a great time as Kenyans. Like, the whole essence of you being a pre-med is for you to enjoy Cuba, like just be as comfortable as possible. So Zippy bought us food, and it was such an amazing time, guys. Like, I honestly in pre-med, even if I did not bring a lot of things, I had a great time because of the kindness that people showed to me. We started school around September, around mid September. And I remember it was such a beautiful day because we got up very early in the morning, and we were ready by around something like 8, because class starts at 8:30, and we were ready by 8, and we were just set. You know, like, it's just that fast excitement of, wow, we're actually starting school, and yay! You know, we're like kids, and we're just like, oh my gosh, we're starting school now. So, guys, we go to class, and my expectation was that the teachers are going to be teaching us Spanish in English, because here in Cuba, you first do 6 months of Spanish, and then now you do Spanish. The other 6 months, like, you have 1 year, so 6 months of Spanish, and then the other 6 months you do Spanish together with other subjects. So I thought that, you know, just like how we used to be taught in Kenya, the different languages, you know, if they're teaching you French, they'd always say, je t'aime means I love you, is je t'aime. I don't know what is like this. First, they say it in English, and then they translate it for you in French or whatever language it is. My people, we got in class, and I remember this prof, we call them profs. This prof is like, Buenos dias. And we were like, okay, at least we had, you know, within the days of being in quarantine, and now we knew what Buenos dias was. So we just thought that's just you know, just how do I say it in Swahili? It's chemsha bongo. It's just to make your mind excited. But then they're going to just switch to English, guys. Nope. Nope. No. This prophet just starts speaking and speak everything, saying everything in Spanish. Everything. What you're going to do today, you're most welcomed in this class. Everything. He starts saying it in Spanish. And I remember I was like, what? you're not going to say any word in English? And she's like, nope, I'm not going to speak English because one, she doesn't know English, and two, because the class does not only comprise of people who know English. Remember, we are all from different nationalities. People here come from all over the world. So, and some people don't know English. Hey, that was going to be the beginning of us learning Spanish and the beginning of a long 6 months, guys. Because we got in there and it's like just black, because you don't know anything aside from greetings and saying thank you and you're welcome. Every other thing that teacher was saying, we did not understand. She gave us assignment, she gave us whatever, we did not understand. But thank God, because of something called learning, because by the time we were done with class, at least we could be able to ask each other, what is your name, which country do you come from, because those are basically the first conversations that you have in any class that you're learning a foreign language. So that was our first day in school. And so for the rest of the time, we just used to practice more and more and more. And then we found out that here in Cuba, after you've learned up to a certain topic, you have things called preguntas escritas. Escritas in English, they're like random assessment tests, aka rats. So after almost every topic, you do a rat. After every topic, you do a rat, to just keep up and just check, have you actually been learning, what have you actually been doing. And guys, that keeps you on your toes, because that means that you have to study. But remember, it's a language, so you don't necessarily have to be in your books 24/7. What we used to do in pre-med, because our schedule used to start from 8:30 to 12 or 11:45. Our teachers advised us to always be going every weekend, to go out. By out, I mean out of school, go and interact with the Cubans and learn Spanish that way. But let me tell you, my people, what they did not tell us is that the Spanish you're taught in class is very different from the Spanish in the streets. I remember the first day, like I went out with my friend just to the nearby center to speak Spanish, to just practice. These people will talk to you and you're like, what? What are you saying? Because Cubans have something, we call it Cubañol. That means it's just a Spanish version, but for the Cubans, it's a whole different thing altogether. So I remember we went back to school like on Monday and we were complaining to our professor and we were like, Profe, you told us to go out there and to speak Spanish, but yet we tried speaking Spanish, but the Cubans, we could not understand what they were saying. And she's like, aha, now that's the life you're living. That's life, and that's how it is. Because you learn something here in school that's straight, like straight Cuban, straight Spanish, and then you go in the streets and they start speaking to you something different. That's how you grasp it more, because your brain wants to just soak every word in, because remember, you're learning a new language. So yeah, that was how it was basically. So from September all the way to January, we were just learning Spanish, and that was our method of learning. We go out, we do random assessment tests, we talk to the Cubans, we go for like school excursions or those things along that line. So it was just an amazing, amazing time. We were invited to church and we had to sit with people who can speak Spanish so that they translate to us in English. And guys, let me tell you, let me even sit well. You know, my expectations were really low about having a service or going to church in Cuba, because like I've said, until they're not religious, or rather they believe in other things. But as soon as that service started, my people, have you ever felt like you're in the right place and your spirit is just, okay, I don't even know what are the words to describe it. These people have energy, my people. These people have energy. The way they're beating their drums, the way they are playing their piano, the way they are singing, their songs are so fast. Their songs, oh my goodness. I was like, what? It was so, oh my gosh. It was amazing. It was amazing. I remember looking at old grandmothers dancing, and they're just dancing there, and you just feel like telling them, oh my gosh, you're going to fall, you're going to fall, you're going to break something. But this person is just there dancing, dancing, dancing. I'm like, I've really been missing out. I have been missing out because where am I? Honestly, it was so lively. People were moving. People were just vibrant. You know, in most of the churches that I've been to, it's always just just quiet and just you don't move a lot. You don't move a lot. It's just you don't normally just move a lot. If you're told, like, if the praise and worship team says, raise your hands for Jesus, I don't know what, you're always like, but then here I come and you see old people. That was even the challenge, that you see old people who are like 80. They're like, you're like, what? Guys, it was so vibrant. I loved going to church, and that was like the beginning of myself loving going to church here in Cuba, because it was really, 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 really vibrant. So as soon as we were done from church, I remember I had not even carried offering because I did not know these people normally offer offerings, if I can say that. So my countrymate Sam gave me some offering, and then after the offering, and after the church service, we went back home. And on going back home, we normally used to walk from church to the Wi-Fi park because it used to be so close. So we'd walk to the Wi-Fi park, and then we'd connect again, Bluetooth tethering, and you connect, you talk to your people, da 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 da, as you're waiting for the guagua to come so that you can go back to school. And it used to be such an amazing experience. And every Sunday in the dining hall, that used to be at night. Yeah, at night they used to serve chicken. So Sundays they were very beautiful days for me, if I can say that, because you get up, you go to this vibrant place, and then you're surrounded by just great people. Like, everyone who used to go to that church just had some good energy, like they're just ready to serve God, and they just look ready. And it was amazing. Then you go to church, you come back from church, you go to the Wi-Fi park. Sometimes my seniors would be like, let's go, and let me go buy you food, and we'd go and they get me food. So that means when I go back to school for lunch, I don't really need to eat lunch, because I've got my own food from outside. And then in the night, they serve chicken, which was a big deal. So Sundays were really a beautiful day yeah, for me back in the day. So that was about the church segment. So around September, the end of September, let's say starting October, by the I came here with locks. Yeah, I had really beautiful locks, and I hope I'm going to find a picture so that I can insert it here for you guys. And so I decided to shave my locks. Yeah, I decided to just shave my locks. So I just went one day to one of the Grenadians and ching ching cut my locks. So that was one of the things that I did when I came here. And I felt like I just needed a fresh start. So why not cut my locks and just start having this natural hair? And then also, like I've said, when we were learning Spanish, we found a timetable. So let me tell you guys, by the way, before I take you to finding the timetable, this is what happens. We used to have so much time, because if you're finishing at 12:30, right, you've got from 12:30 or 12 or 11:45 all the way till the night. So you could just go to the center, which had the Wi-Fi park, and you connect all this while and talk to your people. But then remember, again, you have to be an economist, because I did not come here with a lot of money. So what we did was, one time when we were roaming around Cuba and just going out, we found a timetable for the guaguas. Guaguas are these long Cuban buses. So we used to know that once you're done with class around 12, the guagua passes around, let's say, 1:30. So we can go to class around, no, we finish class, we go and eat. Once we're done eating, we go to our rooms, we change into our uniforms, and then we go to the stage to wait for this guagua, because it's going to pass at 1:30. And what did we used to do? So we decided, as five of us, we were five friends, my friend from Sri Lanka, myself, my countrymate, and one from Liberia. I think we were four or five people. So we had made a timetable, like every, I think, Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays, we will always go to the Wi-Fi park. And instead of every person buying a card for an hour and just staying for an hour, what we'll do was every person buys a card, and then that means if we are four people, those are 4 hours of Wi-Fi, and then we just Bluetooth tether one another. So you find that, okay, today is Wi-Fi day, boom, all of us, we go there, we buy, and then that's how we used to talk to our people for like 4 hours. Because remember, you're talking to your people 4 hours, and the next time you're going is like on Friday or like that. So that's how surviving with the mobile data was. You find a group of people, and then you decide to go together, and then you Bluetooth tether. The problem was when your people decide that day they don't want to go to the Wi-Fi park because they are tired. Oh my gosh. You're going to be so, not frustrated per se, but yes, frustrated, because now you're just forced to buy your own card, which is 1 hour. And once you've bought that 1 hour card, 1 hour, like I've said, 1 hour is such a short time, right? 1 hour is such a short time when you have so many things to say to so many people, and you're updating them not daily but after every day or after 2 days. Aye, my guys, we survived, by the way. We had to survive. So Bluetooth tethering was a thing back then. And then let me tell you guys another thing that I've forgotten to say. The SIM cards in Cuba cost, back in the day, they cost $40. $40, my people. $40. Do you know what $40 is in Kenyan shillings? Around 5,000. 5,000 Kenyan shillings. SIM card. Hey. Guys, if I lose my phone right now, I'm going to feel so bad for the fact that I've lost my SIM card even more than the phone. Because I came here with around $60. So the fact that I came here with around $60, and then I had to use 40 out of 60. So that means I'm left with how much? $20 only to survive with for like a month. Hey guys, I've never felt a pinch in my heart of buying a SIM card for $40 back in the day. And then you tell your mom or your dad. I used to tell my parents, guys, please, I need money. I need like around 100 US dollars because I feel like I have so many things to buy. My parents are like, wait, you're getting free accommodation, free food 3 times a day because it's breakfast, lunch, and supper. And you don't need to travel anywhere to go out of the campus because everything is located inside there. Your classes are there. Why do you need $100 from? And back then the Kenyan shillings to the Cuban dollar was 1:1. So asking for $100 meant that I'm asking for 10,000 Kenyan shillings. And my family, my parents were like,
of course, no, don't be ridiculous.
what are you going to do with 10,000 Kenyan shillings in a place where everything is free? Guys, hey! When you're told something like that you can't get $100, you find ways of surviving. And so having to buy a SIM card for $40 and you're getting $60 as pocket money, oh, mom and dad, oh, but we made it through. So that was it. One of our roommates called Tori. Hi Tori, was going to, like, her birthday is in October, and she makes a big deal. Not she makes a big deal, but she's the type of person who goes big on her birthdays. So she was like, guys, you know what? I feel like as a room, we should do something about my birthday. We should just organize and go out. And so the girl from Venezuela, she knew places around Havana because she had traveled a lot in Havana. She used to go out the most in comparison to the rest of us. So I remember she was like, okay, we are going to go to this restaurant which sells kebab and whatever, whatever. And guys, we planned and we organized everything and we went to the restaurant. Have you ever felt like, wow, where has this place been all my life? Because when you were walking on the streets on that night and the place looked beautiful, By the way, like it's called Old Havana. The place looks beautiful, up to date. By the way, it looks really beautiful. It's one of, it's like KICC of Kenya, or I don't know what is a historical site in your place, guys, but it's just those, those city squares that just look amazing, that just look beautiful. And we had so much fun going out there. We really had so much fun. We bonded as a room. I'm going to put pictures here, guys. And by then, I had cut my hair, guys. I had cut my hair. So it was quite a new experience, and then that was the first time I actually put on like something short to go out, because yeah, back in Kenya, I could never do that. But here, the heat, again, like I had said, the heat is too much. So, and I just loved it. It was just a new experience. It was an amazing experience because we got lost. We stopped at the wrong stage, at the wrong bus stop, and we had to walk for quite a long time. But it was all fun because we were taking pictures. And you walk next to a tree, you're like, take a picture of me with this tree. It's now in Cuba and I'm outside. Cheese. Yes, you walk somewhere, guys. It was fun. We were just like little kids who had been given candy. It was just fun, and it was just amazing, that first outing. And so we fast forward to December, and one of our other roommates suggested, you know what, I think it's about time we have something called Secret Santa, whereby, if you know that, you write your names down, and then you do like you pick out the name of someone that's not your name, and we're going to gift each other different gifts. And guys, hey, let me tell you, the reason I'm laughing is because I think I asked that December, I had to ask for more money and to actually explain to my parents, why do I want more money? Why do I want more money? And you have to say, you know what, it's because we're doing a secret Santa, and I need this and this and this and that and that. And guys, accountability. Thank you, mom and dad. So that December, we went out again. We went out to this beautiful hotel, and they were serving buffet, and we just found it like by mistake, because the idea that we had initially was to go to a certain restaurant, but the restaurant, when we went there, we found that it was closed. So we just decided to walk around, and then we bumped into this hotel that was serving buffet, and oh my goodness, it was really amazing, like to just exchange gifts, and to see the happiness on people's faces. And we had already bonded as a room, and it was amazing. And it was just amazing. And you know who got my name? My bedmate, the Congolese. She got my name, and it was just, I think that was now the beginning of our official bonding process, because aside from the fact that we are Africans, you got my name, and it was beautiful, guys. It was really, really, really beautiful. So we started going out often as roommates, not quite often, but whenever we'd have time, we'd go out quite often. And by the time we're getting to January, we 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 had just, we knew we were going to be just each other's sisters. We were now free. We'd even leave our lockers open, because when we were first starting, we used to lock our lockers all the time. But by the time we were getting to January, all that nonsense and that novelty had lost its place. We are now basically like sisters. We'd share more things, we're more free with each other. Yeah. In that same year, 2018, the Kenyan government decided to send some postgraduate doctors to come and study family medicine in Cuba. And so I remember, I don't know if they came in October or November, I don't really remember. But the reason why I'm saying this story is because we were able to meet them in December. Normally, on 12th of December, it's like a big deal in Kenya. The reason I'm saying it's a big deal, it's because it's a national holiday, so people get to relax and get off work. Yeah, so in December, as usual, the embassy always, December 12th, on Jamhuri Day, the embassy usually organizes a party or a celebration for its Kenyans, where we go eat cake, have a great time. This one now is like a real party. We party till it's 1995, till it's around 5 a.m. Anyhow, so we got to meet these doctors, who had arrived, I think, in October or September. We got to meet them in December at that party, and it was like we had such a fun time because, like I tell you guys, whenever you go abroad and you meet your country people, my country people, yes, whenever you meet them, you're always so excited and you just want to get to know each and every one of them. It's you form like Kenya outside of Kenya, or whichever country that you come from outside your country. So we got to meet these doctors and we had a great time with them. Like it was just fun, fun, fun all through. And that's when I realized, oh, so doctors actually party and actually have fun. It's not just a matter of books, books, books 24/7. And the reason I'm also mentioning this is because these people are going to be very relevant in so many stories that I'm going to be sharing with you guys, especially surviving COVID 2020. So yeah, that was the experiences. Those were our experiences with those doctors, and it was such an amazing feeling just to have as many Kenyans as we were around by then. Let's say six us. They were like 50, and then we were like eight or six, so 56, and then the embassy people. So let's say around 70 Kenyans in Cuba by then in 2018. And yeah, it was an amazing time. More stories incoming about those doctors. So yeah. In case I've forgotten anything, I'm going to add it in the next part, because the next part I'm going to have a part 2. So yeah. Until the next time, guys.
Good to me.
Kwaheri.